So today we're going to be talking about the historical Jesus and trying to answer the question, did Jesus really exist? And the answer is, well, kinda. And the first thing that should be noted is that the Bible is not be using as a point of reference for this video because it's not a very good historical text to be looking at. And this is being noted because the men who brought us the New Testament were not honest, were not trustworthy, and they rewrote some passages in the Bible, they inserted certain things, or they changed some things around to further prove the point of the church, or to further push the point of the church, I should say. So first and foremost, the earliest Christians did not believe in an earthly Jesus, did not believe in the flesh and blood Jesus Christ. And in fact, the term Christ, which means the Anointed One, was used 500 years prior to the alleged birth of the biblical Jesus Christ. In fact, Christ and Christians actually derives from crest and Christians, from early temple vocabulary used by the pagans. To be a Christian meant to be a disciple on probation. And then after going through initiation, long trials and suffering, and after they had been anointed, they became the Christos, or the purified. There is record, however, of a Jesus being executed during the Passover when the Jesus of the Bible was executed. This Jesus was to be stoned, however, because he practiced sorcery and enticed Israel into apostasy. So was this the Jesus of the Bible? It's not likely. See, there's this thing with names. Some names are more popular than others. Case in point being, Matthew is one of them. But during this era, one of the more popular names was Jesus.
In this video, I'm going to talk to you about and go over some of the common complaints that you godless heathens out there have about the holiest of all holy books, the Bible. You say that the God of the Old Testament is not a very good role model and is also a genocidal, homicidal, racist, homophobic maniac who has a kill fetish. Well, I'd say you're right there, but what's so bad about that? I mean, he's perfect and he's God. We can't judge him. He is the master of the universe. Next complaint is that the Bible contradicts itself, which I just have this to say to you. If the Bible contradicts itself, then the Bible is not reliable, and that means that Christianity would be a lie, and that I've been living my life based on a lie, and I'm deluded. You seriously need to rethink your logic there, atheists. You know?
Anecdotally, I've noticed the increasing popularity of ideas like ethical nihilism, moral anti-realism, etc. here on YouTube, which interests me because this is a broad position I once held and have gradually moved away from. The usual line of attack evokes the difficulty of inferring something normative from something descriptive, usually with a reference to Hume's law, although some might cite a philosopher that advocated a kind of master morality, like Stirner, or transcending a slave morality, like Nietzsche, or, like YouTube's Mike Compachero, simply claimed that God transcends human morality, rooted in nature, and that ethics should be forgotten as irrelevant to a transmoral God. We can still observe consequential manifestations of the metaphysical. I do not believe that the house I live in could exist without a society with a normative metaphysical framework. This is an entirely testable and falsifiable hypothesis. Similarly, I do not believe we could have the technology to allow me to speak to you through the internet without a scientific methodology. Morality is a tool. It does not exist in some senses, but it does exist in the same way math, science, aesthetics, philosophy, the theory of evolution, and so on and so forth exist.
Now I'm going to address your strange airplane analogy for evolution. Now, the evidence we have for evolution, let's say that, as you mentioned, they did let you into their computer system, and you could see everywhere the plane has been. That's like genetic evidence. And the fossil evidence, let's say every stop the plane made on its way to you, someone took a picture that would let you know where it is and what time it was there. That's like fossil evidence. So you could see exactly where the plane came from. And that's how you could tell. That's the kind of evidence we have for evolution. And yes, we have observed instances of positive mutations both in the lab and in nature, both at the micro and macro scale. I suggest you look it up.
Atheism is just the belief that there is no God. Evolution is a scientific theory and something that can be disproven. You can't disprove atheism, no more than you can prove a religion. And I think it's just so funny that so many people, so many religious people who try to refute atheism go off on all these scientific notions like, you know, atheism is wrong because evolution isn't proven, or atheism is wrong because the Big Bang is all, you know, hocus pocus. But it's so funny because they're scientific theories. It is the nature of science to try and disprove itself. Every theory that is presented is naturally put under so much more scrutiny than religion ever could be put under without it collapsing. Okay? And if it survives all the rigorous scrutiny that it's put under, the theory is put forward, like the theory of evolution. And let's just say, as has happened in the past, like with Darwinism, a scientific theory is proven incorrect because another theory takes its place, something that's better. If this is what you're looking for, religious people of YouTube, if what you're looking for is to disprove evolution and the Big Bang, don't you realize it's just going to make your lives a lot harder to do what you're going to do? If anything eventually comes along and disproves evolution or the Big Bang, now we believe in X, okay? X is going to be an even tougher theory to disprove. I can't believe no one has thought of this from a religious perspective before. No matter how many times you disprove a scientific theory to explain something, it's not going to get any closer to being God. Or creation, or whatever the hell you choose to call it, okay?
Sonntagmorgen und ich will wirklich noch nicht aufstehen. Doch draußen steht ein Typ, er will mir über Gott erzählen. Und die Bibel und die Seele und er geht einfach nicht weg. Was er so labert, kümmert mich nen Dreck. Bei mir bist du an der falschen Adresse. Halt doch endlich deine Fresse, denn ich scheiß auf höhere Gewalten. Ich muss mich wirklich nicht anhalten. Ich bin ein kleiner Atheist, mir ist egal was du bist, solange du nicht willst, dass ich so werd wie du. Keinen Papst, keinen Staat, keinen Guru, keinen Ayurveda-Salat. Ich brauche keinen Tau und halte trotzdem nichts von Mao. Yin-Yang kannst du dir behalten, ich kann mich auch so gut entfalten. Ich brauche auch keine Exorzisten, die mir sagen, wie wir leben müssen. Selig sind die Armen im Geiste, ihnen ist das Himmelreich. Mir nicht. Ich sag's euch gleich. Ich bin ein kleiner Atheist, mir ist egal was du bist, solange du nicht willst, dass ich so werd wie. Ich bin ein kleiner Atheist, mir ist egal was du bist, solange du nicht willst, dass ich so werd wie du. Atheist, mir ist egal was du bist, solange du nicht willst, dass ich so werd wie. Ich bin ein kleiner Atheist, mir ist egal was du bist, solange du nicht willst, dass ich so werd wie du.